everybody, welcome back to the dumbest modeling channel on all of YouTube, Pit Stain Hobbies. Thanks for coming. If you're in your 40s and you still buy trucker caps from breweries because wearing them makes you feel like you're still a little hip, well, this is the place for you. Okay, I got way too specific there, but somebody out there, yes. I have ADHD to an extent. And this model affords me the ability to just jump around and mess with different things pretty regularly. So I wanted to make sure the massive amount of wires, okay, for this Tenet Controls board could actually fit down the neck of this sucker and down the hollow tube we ordered from K&S Metals. I think it's a 3/8 inch hollow. This one I ordered stainless steel. A lot of guys get brass. I got stainless steel. I wanted it to be very, very rigid. Yeah, that's what she said. I get it. So all the wires, worst case scenario, not all of these have to be able to make it through the tube, but the vast majority of them do. So we've determined they will all fit through the hole in the tube. And this is a very tight fit with the K&S tubing. And if we take our European calibrometer 0, yeah, we're in yeah, okay, in euro units. This is the factory bit that comes with the Enterprise. I'm calling my kit the second prize from now on because it's literally mostly all the parts are from the second kit. And then 9.48, 9.49. Okay, they're very tight fit. Yeah, there we go. Okay, must not have been calibrated properly before. So they're the same size. So yeah, 9 point. Now it's 9. See, that's how crappy these calipers are. I mean, they're decent-ish, but or the tube's just varying diameters. No, it's pretty consistently 9.5152, 949, 948. Yeah, this is a tiniest bit thinner, and it fits in a little easier. This thing fits super tight, the K&S tubing. So there you go. Let's turn it. I had another reason I had the calipers out, is because the thickness of these wires, 0.87 millimeters. Let's just spot check. Let's say the red one here, 0.89. I mean, you can squeeze the thing in really hard, but 0.84. So these are vinyl jacketed, or whatever the hell, you know, the normal non-silicone jacketing, and they are 0.88-ish, just shy of 0.9. We have two sets of this BN Tech Go multicolored wiring packs from Amazon. We got 30 gauge and we got 28 gauge silicone wire, so the jackets will not melt as easily when you go to solder things. But we just wanted to measure, so we were sub 0.9 millimeters with those these wires, and the 28 gauge 1.12 millimeters, 1.09 if I squeeze on it a little bit. So that's thicker, and it's mostly because I think of the silicone jacket. Silicone. I think it's silicone when we're talking about the rubbery stuff. Silicon when we're talking about microchips. That's it. There we go. Don't sound like a complete... Oh, forget it. Who am I kidding? I sound like a complete idiot all the time. And then we go from the 28 to the 30 gauge. Here's my concern, is that now I'm at 0.71 with that somewhat thick jacketing. I'm a little concerned these might have a little issue handling the current. I don't want the wires inside the ship. Well, it is silicone jacketed, so they can take the heat a little better than vinyl jacketed. But I'm not sure if I'm going to try to squeeze the 28 gauge through that tube or the 30. What I may do in reality is for high-load sections of the ship, such as the LED strip lighting, the double-density LED strip lights, we'll probably go ahead and use 28 gauge. And for single LEDs, I'm going to use a 30 gauge. Otherwise, I can get that Ninar, whatever that thin metal. It's kind of like magnet wrapping wire, but it's, I guess, not technically. I can get a bunch of that stuff, of course, but this is what I wanted this because it comes in many colors that coordinate with the many colors of the wiring harnesses for the Tenant Controls board to make things a little more organized. Oh, stop hitting your shuttles, man. So that's that. Leave your thoughts below. But I've got to get off my lazy ass and start wiring. And this is... Could we get you off of here? You're just distracting the autofocus. The instructions are... The wiring diagrams are excellent from Tenant Controls. As far as instructions on where to put all the LEDs, it's sort of like, yeah, you watch YouTube videos. That's all good. And there's things, warranty, effect, other warranties. And is it lifetime warranty? What is the warranty? I don't know. It's a super long warranty. It's like 1,000 years, 50 years. 50-year warranty. That dude means business at Tenant Controls. He's like, 50-year warranty. Because he knows we're never going to turn this damn thing on all that often. And in 50 years, he'll be dead. The company will be gone. We'll be dead. Bluetooth will be a thing of the past. No one's going to use it. And I'll have a basically uncontrollable, useless Enterprise model. But by the time Bluetooth technology and the apps are gone... Yes, I will be in the hobby shop in the skies, or or in the subterranean hobby shop that's extra well heated. But I don't like the cold, so whatever, I hear they have beer down there. Either way, we're gonna get back to work, and I'm gonna do something. Hopefully, yeah. Oh, I gotta finish the shuttle bay. I gotta get these shuttles deckled up, and then I gotta start soldering on leads onto all the landing bay lights. So that I can, yeah. So like these are going to get 30 gauge wire because it's basically one pair of lights per wire lead. So yeah, we don't need super hardcore heavy duty wiring to power those little guys up. All right. We'll be back. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Just dropped my UV flashlight. Ow. Doing the UV thing. And our shuttle bay is together. All of our leads are wired up. We got a couple purples, a black, a green, a blue. We got masking tape, little labels there. We got our little shuttle bay in there. And if we take our old man mag light and we shine her up here, you can see the turbo lifts. There we go. Sort of. And then from the top, so we're going to throw some blue, micro, tiny LEDs. Oh, come on. Hold on. There we go. They're sort of lit up. I'm gonna put a couple micro blue LEDs. However, I don't have any micro blue LEDs, and these landing bay lights will run in sequence. We've got them wired, circuits 1 through 5 for the board, and yeah, she's gonna be pretty slick. Oh, this Sony ZB-1. Thank you for focusing. Look at that. There's another shuttle behind this one that nobody will see. I put it in there and I put the roof on it. And you can, there you go. There you go. You can sort of make out the top of it. I spent a lot of time putting the water slide decals on here from HGA Model Works. In. Come on, hold on. There we go. It's hard. It's really hard to focus for anything. Oh, my panel liner. A little shitty, but it's okay. So now I've got to go around here and light block all of this with our bottle of tulip fabric paint. It's somewhere over there, I think. Whatever. But we're gonna do our tulip black paint around the edges here, around all these seams, because there's kind of a lot of seams. Now we'll take our big flashlight and see? There we go. We got some seams and gaps. A couple gaps and seams. Here, these are going to light up. Those will light up. That's kind of cool. But yeah, there you go. One shuttle bay. So, fantastic, sort of. Drilled that all a little haphazardly, but we drilled out the windows. We'll get some light in there. And she's going to be a beaut, Clark. Just a beaut. And yeah, this is a lot of wire. A lot of wire. This is our ground wire. We used the 28 gauge for the ground because we got 10 LEDs running off of it. But for all of the 2 LED pairs, we only used the 30 gauge. So all of this wire ultimately, all of these have to go down the neck. This is going to tie into multiple other lights that are going to ground to harness one black negative. So I gave it a whole bunch of wire, but I'm probably going to cut most of that off and tie it all in somewhere behind the deflector dish, obviously. So there we go. That's that. So we'll be back with more on our second prize. If anyone kind of skipped forward, it's because most of this model that I'm using is from the second kit, because it's the one that fit together bestest. Here's our saucer. Not glued together, just, loosely fit. It's pretty good. I'm going to have to sand off on the bottom of the outer rim there a little bit. But she's pretty nice. Fits together pretty well now. It feels good on the outside. I don't feel a lot of imperfections. Hit it with some more Tamiya 3000 grit polishing paper. It's a sponge sandpaper, but it's polishing. Like, I got some overspray here, so now it's feeling a little scratchy. Not as silky as the last video. But yeah, there we go. I mean, that's not bad. She's not bad, Captain. And we got the officer's lounge we got to do. We'll get to that next. Be right back. BRB, Eric. Yeah. Naysayer. Even a blithering idiot has a good idea once in a while. Oops, sorry. Obligatory. I wasn't... There we go. Wasn't actually planning on filming today. I just came down here because the fitment of the nacelle pylons into the port side secondary hull, look at that, I whipped out a whole bunch of words without screwing up too much, was not closing up. So if you see, we have basically no gap there when we just dry fit these hull parts. Come on, you son of a... Almost no gap. Almost no gap. Yet, when we put this in the correct orientation, we've done of all of our other massaging, yet we still have Zen gap. And I know everyone will be like, just putty it. It's fine. Be a modeler. Use your skills. I am using my skills. I'm using my problem-solving skills. I was like, let's just see. It feels like it's pinching right here. Like, this can't close right here at the base of the pylon opening. So if we put her together, okay, with no gap, well, I did this with tape before. Let me bore you with me putting more tape on my plastic model. Okay, so we got her taped together. Almost no gaps. Okay, we're going to hold her in there. Use your brains and your tools. Okay, zeroed. And right in the middle, the thickest part. 542, 545. 541, 536. Okay. That looks like that's about the thickest area. Let's see. 546, 557. Okay. And then we just go to the thickest area right here at the base of the pylon. What do we got there? We got more millimeters. Woof! Up to 6, a little over 6 millimeters. So that means, like I was thinking before, we need to shave this down a tad to get that to fit in there better. So we could also try to carve out this hole a little bit more. I think we will take a measured approach and do a little bit of both. With our little handy dandy, I frickin' lost them. No, I did not. I have them right here. My handy dandy set of Tecton needle files. And this is actually good Chinesium. It's actually Taiwanesium. Tecton's kind of, they're whatever. They actually are making some of their tools in the U.S. now. So good on them for that. Proud of you, Tecton. And take our flat. Nope, that's a triangle. Well, it's got a little bit of angle. I want something pretty flat here. Yeah, that's nice and flat. Nice little flat. Son of a. You have to have a little something to autofocus with. There, a little flat file there. We've been doing a lot of filing on this. You could tell by all the built up white plastic dust in my needle files. And then we'll take something a bit more, with a bit more finesse, and that's gonna be this little curved guy. There we go. Little curved profile to it, and we're gonna take away just little at a time, just a little here, a little there. Not too much at all. I'm actually gonna use the flat end. Whatever. Okay, we'll be back in a second. We'll see how this filing trick goes. All right, stay tuned. Success! My idea. It worked out. Look at that. No more Gappy McGat. Very minimal Gappy McGat face. The other side, I actually got pretty good already. Like if we dry fit with no pylon, we have, son of a Butterfingers is what we got. That's every day over here. Okay, you know, not much. Son of a, here we go. There we are. Yep, minimal gap. We throw the pylon into the mix. Again, not facing backwards. Well, sweeping backwards. And the starboard side, look at that, port and starboard out of me correctly both times. Pretty contrast is difficult with an all-white plastic model, but almost very little gaps. There's a little front to rear gap right there. There's no way to solve that without a little bit of putty work. But I don't believe that's supposed to be a panel line, so we're just going to fill it right in and smooth it out, and that'll be no problem. So yeah, now we got both sides. They're good. We sanded down at the bottom here. I'm not flipping anybody the bird. We sanded down right under here quite a bit. And the majority of sanding I did was right here. If you see, this one right here had a little flash or a little bit of that line continuing up here. Got rid of that. Sanded down, well, filed down the inside of this a bit. You're not going to see it because when the pylon is in there, you wouldn't see. So, but you clear that, clearance that right in there, right there. Obviously, you're going to clearance this tab on both the outside and the top mating areas. It's okay if she gets a little, whoopsie daisy. Oh, there we are. If she gets a little loosey goosey on you, we're gonna epoxy that sucker in there. That's not going nowhere. So there we go. We've figured out how the magicians do it. Now, I really got into this kit when I first started watching Boyd from TrekWorks. A master at his craft. And he's done, obviously extremely, probably super expensive commission builds for many, many years, well over a decade. I've been seeing his videos. Have been on YouTube, but he does not. At least I've missed it if he did go into detail. And I watched his entire first refit build series in its entirety, ad nauseum. Enjoyed every minute of it. Phil from Sprueverse was one of the first guys that really got into the whole clearancing these pegs thing, but there was more to it than even that, and I don't think anyone ever covered this clearance issue here, where the pylon enters the base of the pylon on the secondary hull. So clearancing out this thing, and you could tell once you put your pylons together, take your damn calipers or other measuring instrument, whatever you're using, and just get on there. We just took it down just a little bit, and she fits so much better now, so much better. So there, that's all she wrote. So now I'm finally satisfied with the dry fitting I've done on the lower hull. I am going to celebrate by throwing this kit in the garbage. I'm kidding. No, it's nice. We got that part done. Now I got to just start prepping these parts. I got to start making clearance for wires to go up the pylons to the nacelles. I got to do that. We've got to get our arboretum windows in to this. I'm carefuling, Ian. Putting those arboretum windows in is a little nerve-wracking because they're so delicate, the photo etch. So you don't want to, once you get those in there, you got to be careful. So we'll do a very delicate job of putting those in the near future, I think. Maybe I'll just start with light blocking the inside of these bits because they could certainly use it. But yeah, there we go. There's that. I think everyone saw my shuttle bay is complete, but if you haven't, whoa, hello, okay, make a mess. Oh, come on, stop sticking to everything. It's like you've got masking tape on you. Oh, you do. Oh no, I lost one of my labels. Son of a... So we got our shuttle bay done. And if we want to see some lighting, there we go. And we even are going to put some lights in the turbo shafts to light those up. I think blue, unless somebody has an alternative idea. I think blue should be nice. Why not? I could go check the movie. I could do the homework and actually just go rewatch that part of the movie, where if they're in the shuttle bay in the movie, I don't know, who knows? I mean, this is the shuttle bay from the motion picture, and maybe, I don't know, maybe Star Trek 2. But yeah, it's, who knows? Who knows? And honestly, nobody knows. If you're showing this to somebody, odds are they are a normie most of the time. Black number 4. So, using my little baby 30 gauge silicone wires, I made nice long leads, like almost 3 feet of wire. I got 50 feet of each color in both 28 and 30 gauge. And then I used 28 gauge for the shared ground connection, because that'll be 5 lights on 1 ground cable. So it is current. Direct current goes in a round trip. So we want to make sure we got thick enough wire to handle the load. I'm going to get this little... it's tulip paint, everyone. That's all that is. And I keep getting it on myself. Every damn time I touch this shuttle bay, I get a little more on me. Oh, I'm so happy. We got our pylons fitment issue sorted there. Yeah. I mean, we got like little shuttle bay openings. Got tape, garbage, goodbye. The empty dead soldiers are piling up in the garbage can. Yeah. It's only a problem if you can't afford it. Okay, here we go. So yeah, back to something. Waffling. Much waffling. I was gonna think about trying to test light the landing bay lights for everyone and hooking things up, and I was just like, I'm just gonna short circuit something on this board, and it's too damn expensive for me to do that. Connector 1, connector 2. Nice circuit board. It's labeled. Speaking of PCBs, we've got something on the way from the UK. Not Star Trek related, but Ghostbusters related. And if anyone really knows Ghostbusters props, this is not the color of a circuit board from a, Sanyo 808D calculator. Yeah, it's green on here, but the real thing's brown. We got a brown one coming. So, man, a lot more soldering. But whatever. We'll have a even more movie-ish accurate, even though they didn't light up, gizmo on the way. But no one cares about that because you're watching a Star Trek model video. But, of course, I went off topic as usual. Okay, we'll be right back, Eric. I briefly flashed this part a minute ago, not even a minute ago. And I said, this is fine. This is from my first kit. Can you see anything wrong there? See that little divot? Yeah, it's a void. It's a molding cavity. Okay. There you go. Ugh, ugly. You could fill it with putty, Ian. It's right on a panel line, too. You could rescribe it, Ian. I think I'll just go to kit number 2. Come on, focus. There we are. That's all. That one's good. Seriously, something was wrong when my first kit was produced. Whatever that, the minutes or the hours or the day of production, when they were popping this part out and all the other parts in my kit, something was a bit off. They came back, maybe it wasn't just a Monday. They came back from a 2-week vacation on a Monday. And that's what we get. So this goes back into the graveyard of kit number 1 parts, which will be, in fact, as far as I can tell, it will be pretty. It should be a complete kit when I'm done. I should have a complete spare Enterprise refit kit, and I'll send it to somebody I hate. There you go. Actually, I know another Eric, not the Eric that I say BRB to annoy, because it does annoy him. There's another Eric I know who doesn't have the biggest budget for model kits, and we could challenge him. Yeah. He annoys me sometimes. I like the guy. He's a nice guy. But, oh dear. There we go. We could do that. There. Another thing from... Just... I don't know what to say. If you get a bad kit, just dry fit everything. Take a look over it. And if it seems like there's a lot of voids and weirdness and problems, you could even link to these videos for reference. But I would ask... I wouldn't necessarily put the burden on the humble hobby shop owner that you bought it from. But I would definitely contact Round 2 support and say, listen, I've got a wonky kit. I've seen a guy on YouTube building this kit. I've seen multiple people on YouTube building these kits. Some guys get horrible gaps everywhere. Some guys have very little gaps. This guy bought 2 kits. One's completely different than the other. Like, totally, like, everything lines up better. There's less gaps. There's less mold voids, less flat. Well, there's always flash. But keep that in mind for anyone wanting to build this. Starting with the best possible Round 2 refit kit definitely makes life easier. Yeah, there we go. Okay, not much else to say about that, except BRB, Eric. These are the continuing voyages of the Starship Idiot Prize, or Second Prize, as I'm now calling it. Okay, so we got to get about 6, hard to see this white plastic, we got to get about 6 wires up these nacelles. The Tenna Controls Bluetooth kit is very, very thorough in its wiring, so there's a lot of trigger wires. Basically, you really don't need that many wires if you're doing kind of a DIY kit. You need like one for, the warp nacelles to light up, and then there's a strobe light, and then there's a couple of spotlights, and then there's some RCS thrusters, and what else? I'm missing some Raytheon lighting for the rear registration. But in the Tenna Controls kit, you have a lot of controls, so you could turn on and off the RCS thrusters or the Raytheons or the nacelles. Oh, the plasma deflection LED, the top little blue guy. So there's a lot of LEDs in there, but generally speaking, if you wanted to make a really dumb kit, you could literally just 2 wires and it's done. Power and ground. Or 3 or 4 wires if you wanted to have some control over warp, versus impulse mode. But yeah, then again, you could have a common ground or a common power and switch one of them, but whatever. We need 6, as far as I can tell. The wiring diagram, it's very clearly laid out, but I'm not an electrical engineer by trade. So it's a little bit of a learning curve for me to decipher this. It makes sense. I mean, Tenna Controls kind of has more advanced modelers in mind, but also people possibly somewhere on the spectrum of moron, such as myself. So it's take your time, read it on. If you have questions, I'd say ask on Facebook or the forums, but you might just get mocked and made fun of these days. You could call Tenna Controls if you're really in a pinch. They seem like a really nice guy. He took my phone call personally. The owner, I forgot his name, I'm sorry. It was a really, really good dude, very thick New England accent, but I'm from New York. It's kind of, we understand each other's dialect. But yeah, so we got those. We basically just took our metal files and, we ground down and made a nice little channel. Still super strong. Nothing weakened. It's fine. Now to do the other one. First, time to take a piss. That means something different in the UK. To take a piss. I don't know. It's like you're joking around. Whatever. But we'll we will return shortly. Hey, we're back from vacation. Do I look tan? I don't think so. No, maybe a little. Not really. I wear a lot of sunblock because I don't want to, get the cancery thing going on later in life or be red as a lobster. I have 2 settings of skin tone when I'm on vacation. I've Pillsbury Doughboy and Red Lobster. That's it. Pillsbury Doughboy or Fat Hellboy. That's it. Nowhere in between. I either just avoid tanning by wearing sunblock or I just say F it and then can't sleep because my body's on fire all night. Either way, we did some work on last Friday night's live stream. We dry fitted the nacelles to the pylons to the secondary hull. We've got our gaps good and fairly gap free. Hello, webcam. Son of a bitch. Ugh. No one asked you to make a guest appearance. Now I got a cord in the way and everything. Oh, nope. Son of a. Okay, see, I'm off for a week. I've lost my whole mojo. I don't know what's going on anymore. I booted up my little computer down here, my little live stream rig, and Jesus, God, and Nelly, here we go. H. Roosevelt. Okay. Whatever. Stay. And, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. No different than usual. But I realized I sanded a lot away right here at the bottom. I thinned out the profile of this part under this lip. I think I might have gone a little too far. So what I'm going to do, take my pylons from, I believe, kit number 1. These are kit number 1. I look inside, I see little number 1. You just make out that number 1 hash mark. These are from kit 1. The shoddy kit. And we'll put them in here and see how they fit. And then I need to get some light blocking on this hole here thing. But we've got a lower hull, just so you can see. She fits together fairly well. I feel bad. Whenever I watch Matt's Model Shop build, apparently it's mostly right here. If you deal with this area here on the inside, clearance everything properly, you are going to have such a much easier time putting together the secondary hull and the pylon connections and all that. I had to sand the pins a little at the top of the pylons where they go into the nacelles. They had a lot of flash. They had more flash than an episode of Live PD. There was a lot of flash going on there. So you gotta, you just gotta sand and file a bit more than you used to with any other brand of model kit, or any other model kit, even probably from this brand. And they have a Millennium Falcon slightly retooled coming out. I have the 1/72nd scale Bandai Perfect Grade, which is gonna be fantastic, and they have a 1/72nd scale. New tooling-ish. I think some of it's old tooling. All the side parts are new tooling. Either way, that thing's like, I don't know, $100, maybe? The Bandai's $400. Even if you don't get the perfect grade with lighting, like you get the standard edition without water slide decals, without the lighting stuff, and you just get the standard edition, I think it's still like $300 basically. So $100 versus $300. Yeah, I almost want to order the round 2 Polar Lights, whatever the hell brand it is, Millennium Falcon, to compare it. Like, I almost want to do a side-by-side Bandai dumpster fire comparo build and see where we go. My eyeballs are driving me nuts. You can't see it on camera, obviously, but it's so much sun. Like, I fried my eyes 5 weeks after my LASIK surgery. Not fun. Okay, enough of my personal BS. I'm back on building this thing. We're going to get this sucker done sometime before... When it's already next month. It's only a few days to June. I don't know. Well, I'll aim for finishing this before the end of the year. That's my goal. It's a lofty one, but who knows? Maybe we can do it. I need your help. You got to watch, and you got to comment, make fun of me in the comments. It drives me forward. Bust my balls, people. Bust them good. All right? Devo, whip it. No, my wife wouldn't like if other people were whipping me. Just bust my balls. It's fine. She'll share in that pleasure. Be right back. There, I didn't use the 3 letters, Eric, you little son of a... I'm in a good mood after vacation. Okay, a little bit of progress during the live stream. We've light blocked... Oh my god, my crazy glue. Careful. We've light blocked all of the parts. Jesus, Ian. Yeah. So we got some photo etch hatches in there. And we've light blocked and we've primed the outside. We did a little rub with 1000 grit Tamiya and then rubbing alcohol. And then Mr. Surfacer 1200, the good stuff. We have 1500 also. We'll go over the top, but that's white. So nice and smooth. Nice smooth finish. And right here, we got the top of the secondary hull. Nice smooth finish, mostly. Little sanding, still required. Gotta smooth out some of the warts. It's this kit. It's just started putting in our photo etch arboretum windows. It's a little crazy glue residue there. That comes out real easy with a hobby knife. Light blocked. You can see the inside. We did the whole, stick them on with the masking tape trick like Boyd on Trekworks does. we started, light blocking the nacelles. Got to prime the outside. They're still nasty. But yeah, a lot of this work. A lot of inhaling fumes. Oh, sorry, we're not turned on there. Just shit that's not fun to watch. I mean, really, it's just got to get done. That's kind of been holding me up on this thing. I just had to bite the bullet and didn't just blast everything with the crapoleum automotive fiber, which if you lay it on too thick, it will crack. And I've been laying it on too thick, and it cracks, and I go over it again, and it cracks, and I go over it again, and it cracks, and I go over it again. It's kind of hard to lay this stuff on thin and delicately unless you've really got a big open area where you're not worried about overspray. But if you need to keep this kind of close to the part, it's going to get doused. It'll crack. It's normal. That's what happens with this cheap, crappy paint. Yeah, we got our neck. Got the outside primed. We light blocked it previously. So yeah, we've got our little photo etch hatches in there. Those are nice. A little more primer needed. But yeah, I mean, it's looking pretty slick. Oh, it's just a lot of work. Just so much. But we'll be back. And I guess we'll close this video out this weekend. This part. I don't even know what part I'm on anymore. I want to say part 5, maybe? Whatever. It is. Either way. Hey, Eric. BRB. It is a daily mental struggle to come down here and work on this thing. Because shit like this happens. Yeah, this happens. I was soldering on the leads, and I believe I put a little too much heat here, and it broke the contacts for at least this first SMD. It looks crooked on its mounting ever so slightly. You can kind of see it's a little crooked. Hard to see with all this bright LED light. Let's turn this crap off. So yeah, we've got I don't know, Houston, we have a problem. So in these scenarios, you have to start over. So let's grab a hold. Now, just repairing this is going to put more heat into this. So we got to try to be super quick with pulling off our wires. Come on, there we go. There's one. There's two. And then there's one. And then there's two. And back. Always keep your chip clean. It's not even tried to be a weird adult theme joke. Just always, every single time you touch this thing to solder, basically, every time, you want to clean it. I use the little brass wool and the wet sponge that came with this Hako setup. And now we've got another piece of LED strip we've cut. What we do is we take some of our rosin paste flux, because I've not been using it for the longest time and I'm an idiot for not doing that. Let's chuck our bad LED strip out of here. I got tons of it, so don't. Someone will say, "Oh, you could have saved that half that was working." I could have. Yes, you're right. You want to take like a little mini Q-tip or some sort of applicator and just get a little of this goop rubbed on those contacts. Tiny dab will do you. Tiny dab will do you. And then no one wants to watch me solder, I'm pretty sure. But we're going to tin these contacts on both ends, and then we take our wire and we poke it in to the flux. Just poke it in there. It'll get a tiny bit on there. That's all you need. It's a little bit. One of these little guys will probably last, I don't know, 20 of these kits, 100. I don't know. There's people still using their old Radio Shack flux. Like, I know I had some at some point. I lost it. My old Radio Shack solder, that stuff is garbage. I'm using just some cheapo rosin. Even though this has the rosin core flux, inside of it, no, it's better to have the flux. Better to flux than not flux, is what all men say. And women too, for that matter. There we go. Okay, I'm going to get back to soldering. I can't solder live. You're all watching me. It makes me nervous. I'll be right back. Okay, I moved a lot faster with the soldering iron. Way better. Every time I start soldering the first time, I'll do like a practice bit here or there. I like practiced before I started. Just on something. Just to, make sure you have the... Well, shut up, Ian. Hit the power. Hey! They all work. Now. They're running in series. Yes, series bad. Wire management inside of the secondary hull is... It's not atrociously difficult, but it is a very tight compartment overall. So I chose not to put these 3 strips paralleled, which I will not do for the saucer or the neck. But because they're in such close proximity to each other on the side of this thing, and I kind of wanted to minimize the amount of rat's nest in there, I went with series. So if it blows up in my face, it's all my fault. You could do parallel, basically run a set of leads to each one, and then join them all together up at the front of the area here. But that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for the other side. 6 wires joining together into one somewhere up front. It'll be a thicker bundle than doing this. And there's going to be a lot of wires merging and joining and all that party that's going to happen right at this area of the ship that has to go down the tube. Yeah, so I'm personally deciding to minimize that a bit. Whereas I could do a single power lead, into the saucer, and then parallel all off of that one lead. It's a lot more straightforward in the saucer section. But we're going to let these burn in for a bit and continue to light bright, or whatever it is. I don't know if I want to hold the neck clamp like that. Let me just do that. There we go. And I'm going to let them burn for a little while, and I'm going to start soldering up the next set for the other side. So we'll be right back. Quick viewer poll. Am I a complete nerd for playing, Star Trek soundtrack music while I'm doing this? One of my other somewhat nerdy friends said, yo, you're way nerdier than me. He's listening to, like, trance music while he's working on stuff. There we go. They're all done. I'm going to let these cook, and then we got to figure out, we got to light the top here to light up the inside of the shuttle bay, and I got to throw a couple LEDs to light up the turbo shafts at the back. You'll barely see them, but that's everything with the shuttle bay. Barely seen, but it's just going to add that little air of, we all already know, and that's why you build this stupid thing and go through this torture. Okay, we'll be back after I figure something out with lights for up top here. All right. Well, and there we are. We've got we put a whole bunch of, what were they, 1206 SMDs? I'll remember sometime. We got 2 for up here, 2 for back there, 1 all the way in the back middle, and then 2 lighting up the turbo lifts. It's very hard to focus. This thing is itty bitty. But there we go. How much of that are you going to see once it's in the shuttle bay with even the open doors? I don't think a whole lot. But we've got 1 SMD there, 2 SMDs for the turbo lifts, 2 more SMDs mounted on the back there, 2 more SMDs mounted on the back there. Everything's mounted with clear UV resin. I like it better than crazy glue. It's not it grabs old, and it's not as bulky as using hot glue. We've just temporarily got these leads connected to our 12-volt power supply. So now it's time to clean up some of this wiring here. We've got all the wiring for the sequential landing bay lights, and then we got to add those LED strips. So we got, what is this? 10 bulbs? 10 bulbs for the landing lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more here. And then the 3 strips that each have 6 times math 18. Got 36 more here, just for the inside and the outside of the shuttle bay. A lot of LEDs. Dear God, what do they bite off with this kit? The price of all the LEDs, even if you use your own Arduino board and you buy the cheapest possible SMDs and you solder them yourself, all that, and just the wire and the solder, and all the extras cost 10 times more than the kit, basically. But either way, you'll have a beautiful ship when you're done. I hope that holds true for me. Otherwise, I don't know why I'm going through all this torture. But that's that. I think we're going to cut this episode here. We've got all our SMDs in the top here to light up all that good stuff. We've got all of our LED strips here for the outside. I just gotta stick them on. They have self-adhesive backing, and then I'm gonna add a little hot glue here and there just for strain relief. Because I already ripped one wire out of one of these landing bay LEDs. That was a shit show. Yeah, and that's that. When we come back to you next time, I don't know, we'll be done with basically the shuttle bay, I guess. Yeah, we'll be done with the shuttle bay. Quite the accomplishment. Then we can move on to other pain-in-the-ass parts of the ship. Until then, thanks for coming. We love you. We love having you. Comment, like, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. And we'll see you next time. Adios, everybody.